Lots of information about gardening, cooking, homekeeping, and crafts. Please visit my website at marthastewart.com.
Today we have a very interesting guest, Dawn Pettinelli, who says gardening without testing your soil before you start is like driving someplace you've never been without a map. And I think you're totally right. That kind of makes me laugh. Now, where do you work?
I work at the University of Connecticut Soil Testing Lab in Stewart.
Recently, we had the soil from my garden in Bedford tested, and today Dawn's going to help me decipher the results. And I'm really anxious to know. I see that the results are very favorable in most of the categories.
So a soil test is a simple way to eliminate the guesswork for how much of any additives you would need to add for your plants.
The most important aspects of the soil are they the four things that you test for? The calcium, the magnesium, the phosphorus, and the potassium?
The pH is probably one of the most essential tests.
So
pH basically is a measurement of the acidity or alkalinity of the soil. And we have a little pH scale here. It goes from 1 to 14. 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 would be considered acidic. Anything above 7 would be considered alkaline.
And how do you adjust that? If it's too acid, you add limestone to it?
Right. If soil is acidic and you want to raise the pH, you would add limestone.
If it's too alkaline?
You would add sulfur.
Oh, okay. And how can you buy sulfur?
What I tell people to do is they can purchase sulfur in the fungicide department of a garden center or a large store. So how would you take a soil sample?
Yes.
It's very, very easy. All you need to do, pretend this is a shovel, you'd push it into the soil, and then you just pull it forward. And then what you want to do is you want to test the soil that the plant roots are growing in the root zone. So if you take a second sample, you would take, this time you would use a trowel, and just take a slice off the back.
Oh,
it should be about 4 to 6 inches in depth. You would take this in several spots. You'd put them in a clean container.
You'd mix them all
together.
Oh, okay.
And then you'd take out about a cup of soil, and then you'd put it in a bag. And if you send in more than one sample, you label it. When you send the soil, we'd also like you to send a little questionnaire with it, because we need to know the name and address to who to send it back to, and we need to know what you're growing, because the lime and fertilizer recommendations would differ depending on the crop.
So I'm very anxious to see how you go about testing.
So would you like to do a pH?
Sure, I would love that.
It's very, very easy.
Okay.
All you need to do is we'll take that little beaker, and if you could fill it maybe a quarter of the way up with soil.
Okay. So.
Just enough so that the little probe can go in there. And then you would add distilled water. We can't use tap water. It has to be distilled water. Add just a little. You're looking for something that has the consistency of pea soup.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. And then all you'd have to do is just pick up that probe and then just remove the cup of water and stick the probe in there.
Right
that's
in here?
It. Yep. And then just sort of lightly jiggle it around, and it'll take just a few 30 seconds or so, and you'll get a reading on the pH meter.
Oh, how great.
So we could see the pH here is on the top of where it's supposed to be as well. You want your pH somewhere to be in between 6 and 7.
So there we are.
So there you are at 7.
702.
Yep. And so that's would be the pH that we'd expect on it.
Now, if you don't have enough calcium, what won't grow?
Well, basically, calcium is a component of cell walls. So if calcium is very low, most plants will not grow very well.
Now, what about magnesium?
Magnesium is needed for chlorophyll and also for seed development.
Now, what about phosphorus?
That's necessary for root growth, and it's also necessary for fruiting or flowering.
And potassium?
And potassium is sort of an overall stress buster. It increases their hardiness. It makes them less susceptible to disease, to drought, to winter injury, things like that.
Nitrogen?
And nitrogen is necessary for green leafy growth. We did suggest that you do need a source of nitrogen.
Right.
And so there's many different sources of nitrogen you could add, and we brought a couple with us.
Oh, good.
One of them is cottonseed meal. When they manufacture cotton, they don't need the seeds. They just use the cotton part. So it's a very good way to use material that's otherwise discarded.
And what about blood meal?
And blood meal actually is from blood of animals.
Oh, it is? Dried blood?
It is dried blood.
And what about the green sand? What is that for?
Okay, some people need to add potassium. Potassium is found in green sand. This is a mined mineral.
Then the phosphorus.
And the phosphorus, this is bone meal, and just like blood meal is derived from blood. The bone meal is from ground up bones of different animals. But some people don't necessarily need to add individual elements. Some like to have it all in one package.
So that is a good
And this would
organic.
be an example of an organic fertilizer. You can tell that it's a complete fertilizer because it has 3 numbers on there, and the numbers are called the guaranteed analysis or grade. They're always for the same elements in the same order: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
Thank you very much, Dawn, for coming here today and talking to us about the importance of soil testing.
Oh, you're most welcome.
And how can people in Pennsylvania find the nearest soil tester?
On your website will be a link to organicgardening.com, and they have a list of all the state soil testing labs.
And how long does it take to get a soil test back?
It usually takes it's 3 to 5 days in the lab. So if you send it in 1 week, you should have your results back the next week.
And what do you charge?
We only charge $5 for the standard nutrient test.
Great. Well, thank you again. And I'm going to test every single corner of my property. But I've been doing that for years, and it really does help. Well, I can't wait to put all your recommendations to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.